What's up, rock stars? Coach Betty Rocker here. Welcome to today's low impact full body workout. We are going to work that body head to toe. Very simple exercises, 4 rounds of everything, super fun. You're going to want to have some assorted weighted objects handy. Potentially you want an elevated surface today. One of our moves is a down dog to push up type of combo, and sometimes it's helpful to be able to brace yourself against an elevated surface. You can also do that kneeling for some portions as well, so the elevated surface really is optional. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and do that move. I'm going to show it to you with the kneeling version first. So everybody join me down on your mat. Come into a tabletop position to start. Hands stacked just below your shoulders, knees below hips. And from here, curl your toes under, send your hips up high. And together, let's enjoy this downward facing dog stretch. Allow that to just open up the backs of your legs, your spine, press down through your finger pads. And from here, go ahead and take your right hand and reach it under to touch your left leg. Flow through to a tall plank or kneeling plank. Come back again to that down dog. You can just hang out and enjoy it. Reach your left hand towards your right leg. And then you're gonna come forward again to that plank and give me a push-up, either kneeling or up on your toes. Back to that down dog, reach, plank, reach with the other arm, push up. Option to take that kneeling position at any time. Also as an option, you can be doing this downward facing dog position with your hands stacked up on an elevated surface. That also might be a supportive position for you where you can come more readily into those plank poses, but test it out for yourself. See how this feels. As you flow into your planks, you're gonna wanna have a nice flat back, an engaged core. Your hands should stay stacked below your shoulders or just a little wider than your shoulders, but at that shoulder height. As we reach underneath our bodies, we feel that upper abdominal crossover oblique action happening. Great job. Let's do 2 more total. So this is 1A, 1B, 1C on the push-up. Last set, 1A, 1B, 1C. Go ahead and come back to tabletop. Come out of that position. What a great way to warm that body up and really get into this awesome workout. Now we're gonna move into another combo move. This is one of my favorites for strengthening the legs, the glutes, absolutely, core, back, all of the parts of the lower body. So and it's gonna be a combo single leg deadlift to lunge. So to give you an idea of what piece of resistance you might wanna pick up to accomplish this, I recommend going a little lighter for this first set than what you plan to maybe move into or know that you can do later on. And if you're not sure, just grab some light resistance and we will test it out. It's a calibration round. The first round's always a little bit of a calibration and also a warm up. So I'm gonna step my right foot forward, bring my shoulders back and down into their sockets, brace the core. Step my left foot back behind me, and I'm gonna just play around for a moment here, feeling how I'm gonna put most of my weight on that front foot. The back foot is there to kickstand. From here, I'm gonna send my hips back, keeping my core braced, my back flat, weighted objects in close to my shins. Powerfully come up using the strength of your glutes. Now, shift your weight so it's more evenly distributed between both feet. Drop into a lunge in the same position. Shift your weight back towards that front foot, shoulders back, core braced, hinge your hips back, keep your hips square, and again, repeat. It's just a small shift of your weight in between the legs. I think you'll find you're easily able to do that. We're gonna keep our crown up tall in that lunge, and then we're gonna keep our chest upright and shoulders back in that staggered stance deadlift. Now I've chosen some pretty light resistance for my first set here, so I'm gonna do about 12 on each leg. Feel free, if you chose something that feels a little heavy, to do the amount of resistance, the amount of reps that feels good for you, where you can hold good form throughout all reps. You're gonna be able to change that amount of resistance in the next set that we do, so don't feel like you had to get it perfect right off the bat. Remember, it's practice. This is the word we want for exercise, practice. We're always a work in progress. We're always practicing. I might wobble around a little bit as I find my balance, but I'm here on the mat, showing up, practicing, working on it. I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to perform. I'm here to enjoy movement together with you. Okay, that felt like the last one I could do on that leg. So now I'm gonna switch, and you may be done already and you might be ready to move ahead of me. Always feel free to get ahead of me or go past me. I'm gonna step my left leg forward, balancing most of my weight on it. Right leg is behind me, kickstanding. Once again, resetting those shoulders back and down. Hinging the hips, keeping the weighted objects in close to the shin, and powerfully coming up using the strength of my glutes. Shifting the weight into both feet for the lunge, and then shifting forward again for the deadlift. Good. Really, you see that I'm going at a slow, steady pace. This is a low impact workout. We're not jumping. We're focusing on strengthening the body using slow, impactful movement. And I say impactful, and we use it in a different way in this context. It's impactful because it's effective. You're making the most of your time. There are so many different ways to train the body, so many valid ways, and it's good to learn different things so that you feel confident changing things up on different days, depending on how you feel. You might have a move that you've seen me do a lot of times, more high impact, but you know that by adding some resistance and doing it more slowly, you could make it a low impact move and still get the same impact or effectiveness out of it for yourself because you're just more tired that day and don't want to jump. Lots of options. That was the last rep for me on that left side. When you're done, you're going to bend your knees to set your weighted objects down. We always bend the knees to set weighted objects down because it helps protect the back. We want to use good sound body mechanics as we move around in our space, regardless of how heavy or light the weighted objects are, because this trains us, it ingrains this muscle memory so that when we're doing household tasks or packing up a campsite, for example, we use the same good form and protect our bodies and don't end up with an injury that just came out of nowhere, right? We want to have good body mechanics. I'm just gonna have a quick hit of my Rock and Restore Essential Aminos, catching my breath. These are not easy moves that we're doing today. Let's move into our second set of down dog reach through to push up. And if you want to test out that elevated surface, this is what that looks like. So we come up, we float forward, we float back, and then we use the elevated surface to push up. So that's also a great option if you don't want to do the kneeling. Get yourself in position, come into your plank, send your hips up, down dog, reach under for the opposite leg, back to plank, reach under, opposite leg, back to plank or kneeling plank, push up, reach under. Start to count your reps. ABC is 1 rep. Great job. I'd like you to do 8 to 10 total of these, and if you can do more, be my guest. Keep breathing, reaching, pushing up. Feel the work happening. Don't have to rush this one either. Really working those arms, biceps, shoulders, back, abs, all the things, and you're getting a bonus hamstring stretch, which is really preparing us for those deadlifts and lunges. I love this combo, such a fun sequence. Keep up the great work. Come on, flow through this. Strong in your push-ups, strong flat back. Hold that core. Don't let your back arch or sag as you move through this. Reach, reach, and then push. Good. Can you get one more? Are you done? Please stop when you are complete, when you can't hold that form any longer. I'm gonna do one more. And when you're ready, go ahead and join me in the center of your mat. Way to go. There's really a lot of challenge for the body in that particular move because we're balancing on one hand when we reach the opposite arm underneath us, giving us even more shoulder and chest engagement opportunities. So it's just a really fun challenge for the body. I hope you're having fun. Remember what I said about practice and progress, and that it's not about being perfect. I'm certainly not. Okay, have some fluid, rehydrate, refuel. We'll move into our second set of those staggered deadlifts to the lunge squat. This is a fun combo because it's working the front and back side of the leg and also getting the glute and lower back and core engaged. So I really love this sequence. It's high volume and maybe high intensity, but low impact. Okay, how did you feel in that last set? Are you ready? Do you want to go up a little bit in resistance, or was the last set just perfect? Was that right where you want to stay? You get to choose. I'm going to go ahead and challenge myself a little further, go a little heavier in my resistance, and I'll start with my right leg forward, putting most of the weight on that right leg, stepping my left foot back, almost like a kickstand, tapping my toe down, shoulders back to counterbalance the weight. As we hinge our hips back, we keep the hips square, the weighted objects stand close to our shins, the back remains flat. We powerfully come up using the strength of the right glute. Then we shift our weight onto both feet, drop down into a lunge. Repeat. Awesome job. If you really want to get the most out of this deadlift, you want to really pay attention to that form. Keeping the core braced, hips back, not rounding the back as you come down. It can be very helpful to check your form in a mirror as you work through this. Good work. Come on, rock stars. Let's go. You'll see that I do have a soft bend in my front leg, even as I do the deadlift. It's okay if your bend is a little less than mine or a little more than mine. It's totally fine. See what feels good to you. See what feels supportive. Keep the hips square. Oh my gosh, I can do maybe one more on this leg. I went up in weight, so it's natural that I'll be able to do less reps. When you're done on that leg, and maybe you have a couple more reps to do, you can switch legs, take a quick breather in between. I'm gonna step my left foot forward, right foot back, brace my weight on that left foot, hinging at the hips, powerfully coming up, shifting the weight to both legs, dropping into that lunge. Great work. Hinge, lunge. No need to rush. You want the same number of reps on both legs. You got this. Come on, rock stars. Breathe. Keep those hips square. Keep those shoulders back. Nice work. Hinge and lunge. Hinge and lunge. I think I can do one more. Please be where you're at. Do less or more reps than me. It's your workout. Woo! When you're done, what do? Bend the knees. Set the weighted objects off to the side. Take a breather. Walk it off. Great work. Drink some fluid. Maybe you're drinking Rock and Restore. I put a little collagen in my Rock and Restore as well, just because it dissolves in everything. I can't even see it. It's just a convenient way for me to get it in. There isn't any particular benefit to having collagen during your workout, the same way there is for the aminos, but it is a convenient way to ingest them. Okay, once you catch your breath, we're gonna move back into our third set of down dog reach to push up plank. Set yourself up, join me. Maybe you wanna join me in a down dog or in a tabletop to start. Either way, we're gonna start in down dog. Come into your position, reach your left hand to your right foot, back to plank. Left hand, Right foot, back to plank, push up. Alternate sides, right, left, push up. Count your reps. Each sequence counts as 1 rep. Great work. Hold that plank form nice and strong. Feel free to drop down to kneeling push-ups any time. You want to work with where you're at. Allow your body to strengthen. Allow it to progress as you get stronger. Great work. We all start somewhere. I'm building up to being able to do these for a longer time. So you see, I still am progressing. We're all of us a work in progress. Keep breathing, hold that form. Be where you're at. I'm gonna try for 1 more. Notice where you feel good stopping. That's where you should stop. When you're done, join me in tabletop. Take a breather. Whew. Excellent work. Now think about this next move. Do you want to stick with the same amount of resistance you used in your last set? Was it just right? Do you want to go heavier? I'm going to stick with what I used in my last set. Felt pretty challenging and perfect. So I'm going to give myself a break. Walk off those push-ups and down dogs. Then I'll select my weight. Go ahead and select your resistance. Bending the knees to pick them up as well. Shoulders back and down in their sockets. We're gonna step that right foot forward, left foot back in that staggered stance. Hips are square, as in they're both pointing forward at all times. And we'll send the hips back, keeping the weighted objects close to the shins. Strength of the glutes pulls us up. We shift the weight to both legs, and then we do our lunge. Continue forward with that same great form. Count your reps. You're gonna wanna do the same number on both sides. Great work. Keep breathing. Flat back on the way down. Don't let it round. Don't lose your form. Keep that chest up. Keep that crown on tall. In your lunge, this is my last rep on this leg. Feel free to go past me or stop before me. And when you're ready, step your left foot forward, right foot back. Shoulders back, hips square. Weighted objects staying close to our shins as we hinge forward. Remember to redistribute your weight. You can play around with your foot position. Find what feels the most supportive for you, the most stable. Really dig in with your toes. Make sure that you have a good supportive base with that front foot. Great work. Hinge, lunge. Redistributing your weight each time. You got this. Remember why you're here. Remember why you showed up. Remember why you like to take care of your body. Remember how much you value yourself. I have 1 more to go. So tough. When you're done, be sure to set your weights down with control. Give yourself a quick breather. And we have 1 more set to go through for these 2 awesome moves. Catch your breath. Have some fluid. One of the secrets to this particular amino acid formula is that I put the optimal dose of leucine, which is the most anabolic or muscle building of the branch chain aminos. Of course, when you've got a complete formula like an essential amino acid formula like mine, you've already got all the BCAAs in there. But what really sets it apart is when you've upped the amount of the leucine, because that's where this becomes something that can not only support your brain health, your hormone and enzyme function, your immune system, but also muscle protein synthesis. So you're really getting a lot for your money with a product like that, as opposed to just a BCAA. So I'm pumped to do this last round with you. Let's get into this. Go ahead and come into your down dog. Hips back, reach under, flow back through. Reach under, flow back through. Give me a push up. Again, A, B, C. That's another rep. Great job. Really focus on those reaches. Make sure you have your hands in a good, stable position below your shoulders before you come back into that down dog reach. If it starts to get too intense, you can simply do a double down dog to plank and then your push up. You got this. Remember, you can also drop it down to kneeling at any time or elevate your hands on the side of a couch, bench, ottoman, whatever you've got. Come on. This is the last set of these. Make it count. Go until you are losing your form and then stop. Hold your core in strong. You got this. Reach, plank, reach, plank, push up. I'm gonna do one more. Reach, you can do more than me, be my guest. Whew. When you're done, take a breather. Literally breathe. Awesome work. We have one last set of those deadlift to lunges, one last opportunity to really practice that move. Oxygenate your cells, breathe deep. Reset, rehydrate, replenish, and decide, do you want to go any heavier? Are you happy with the amount of resistance that you used? Now, because we've got this bonus fourth set, you may want to like really challenge yourself. You want to see if you can go any heavier, go down in reps a little bit more. Go be my guest. Otherwise, feel free to stick with what you had. This is your workout. Right foot steps forward, left foot steps back, staggering our weight between the two legs. And hinge those hips, hips stay square. Powerfully come up. Shift the weight to both feet. Drop into that lunge. Reset, deadlift. Reset, lunge. See how there's that little micro pause in between each one where we get ourselves together, we get our core braced, we remember to bring our shoulders back. There's no need to rush through this at all. Great job. Make the most out of this time that you've given yourself today. Thank you for showing up for me, for yourself, and taking care of your body. Okay, I've got maybe one more on this leg. These are really intense. And then I'm gonna switch legs. Now, something that I'll do when my weights are heavier is I'll give myself a little break in between, set the weights down, shake it out, and then I'll be ready to move into my last set. Left foot forward, right foot back, staggering the stance. Hinge it back, powerfully come up, and then drop it down again. You got this. Come on, my friends. Hinge, lunge. Hinge, lunge. So strong. You have a lot of things that you accomplish every day, I know. There's a lot you take on. This is the training for your mind and body. The reminder that you're worth it, that you can go to bed a little earlier, that you can take 5 seconds, 5 minutes for yourself today, anytime you need it. Last one for me. My goodness. When you're done, set your weighted objects down, shake it off, walk it off. That completed your final set of your first circuit. Well done. A little endurance training today with that extra round. Refuel. If If you want to put any equipment away, you can, but let's see where we're going in our second circuit. Second circuit, we've got two moves, back to back. We've got a strict press, where we're going to be pressing weights up overhead, really working on those shoulders. And there's no bouncing in this one to add momentum. It's all the shoulder, the strength of the shoulder. If you would prefer to do that move seated, you may feel more secure in a seated position. I just want you to really engage that core and really keep those elbows flared out as you press up and down. So feel free to test out different positions with this movement and different amounts of resistance. We're going to start out lighter just to make sure we don't stress the shoulders out. Move two is a fun combo, one of my favorites. It's a reverse lunge to curtsy lunge on the same leg repeating. So we step it back into that reverse lunge and then into the curtsy where the knee comes behind the front heel. If this bothers your knee at all, I want you to do a double pulsed reverse lunge to keep the hips square. So you have a couple of great options. Now let's go ahead and pick up some weighted objects and start with that military press. It's really important that you start lighter maybe than you think you should, just so we can warm the shoulders up a little bit more in this position. I'm gonna step my feet out, hip distance or even a little wider, bracing that core, and then I'm gonna press straight up and lower back down to my shoulders. Press and lower. Brace your core, press, lower, press, lower. Count your reps, 8 to 12 would be ideal. Although if you're lower than that or higher than that, that is fine. Remember, this is our calibration set. Don't allow your back to arch here. I don't want like an arch back, okay? That's gonna stress out your back, especially when you put the weight up over your head. So brace that core and press straight up. When you get to the top of your rep range where you're out of reps that you can do with good form, go ahead and take a breather. Bend the knees, set those weighted objects down, and we'll decide how much resistance we'd like to use for our lunges. We're doing reverse lunge, reverse curtsy lunge combo. Oh my gosh, I love this sequence so much, it's so fun. Are you ready? Go ahead and find some resistance that you think might be effective for you. And remember, it's 8 to 12, so you don't have to do crazy amounts of reps for this to be effective. For this one, you can put the weights on your shoulders or hold them at your sides, either way. Just keep those shoulders back. Keep your crown up tall. I'm starting with the right leg. Reverse that lunge, and then keeping both hips square, facing forward, I'm coming into reverse curtsy. The knee is gonna stay aligned with my toe. Great work. Step it back, forward, reverse. Now, just like we talked about with the down dog push-up reach, we had an ABC. Here we have an AB before we complete one rep. So each time you come back into the curtsy, that completes one rep. So we have reverse lunge, curtsy lunge is one rep. We don't want to be banging the knee down to the floor. It can kiss the floor if it touches at all, but we have control as we step back. This is my last rep on this leg. I'm gonna switch sides. Please feel free to do more reps on that first leg. If you had more reps to give and you weren't overly fatiguing or losing form, you'll know the more you practice what your end feel is. And that's really something that will make more and more sense the more you practice. So don't feel like you're supposed to know everything the first time you do something or put too much pressure on yourself. Think about your best friend and she's learning something new. Would you give her a hard time if she didn't get it right the first try? No, you'd be like, good for you for trying that out. What did we figure out? Right? You'd be like so supportive, you'd be her cheerleader. So be that for yourself. Listen, I know what I'm talking about because I used to be that person. I used to be so hard on myself. And it really just took practice, mental practice, to learn how to be kinder, to learn how to be stronger minded, how to really have my own back. Last one for me. And when you're done, you can set those weighted objects down. Of course, bending the knees to do that safely. Woo! Catch your breath. One set down. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Moving into our second set of the strict press. Choose the right amount of resistance for yourself. Maybe you want to go lighter, maybe you want to go heavier. Your choice, seated or standing. I want your back protected. I want it engaged and flat. Bring those weighted objects up to your shoulders. Press overhead. Press. Lower down with control. Press. Lower with control. Excellent work. Press. Keep that core braced. Don't let your back arch. Check in. You might want to do a tiny little engagement there. So think about how we do blueberry spine. When we're laying on our back and we feel the curve in our lower back and we gently press the back down by engaging the abs. That's the exact same feeling you want to have here as we're standing and pressing overhead. That little bit of engagement to keep protected that entire area of your body. Last rep for me. Ooh. Bend the knees to set down your weights when you are done. You may finish before me, you may be done in a few reps after me. Listen to your body. We'll move back to our second move. Reverse lunge, curtsy lunge when you are ready. Selecting the correct amount of weight for yourself so you can get in between 8 to 12 reps. So use whatever information you got from the last set that you did to choose what you're gonna do this set. Shoulders back and down. I'll start with my left leg leading this time. Left leg back, reverse lunge. Left leg back, reverse curtsy. Sticking with the left leg. Back and curtsy. Keep those shoulders back. You're wearing your invisible crown. Because you're a queen, because you're amazing, you have a lot of responsibilities. I know you do, and you're powerful. These are the queen things. Queen takes care of herself. So wear that crown up proudly. Use that good form that you have. Engage that core as you step back and then step back across. Feel that right leg that's stationary, really working hard to stabilize you in this position. 8 to 12 reps on this leg. AB counts as 1 rep. Great job. This is my last one. We're gonna switch sides when you're ready. And remember, the amount of reps you do is really subjective to the amount of resistance that you're using. So don't feel like it's wrong to do more or less reps than me. Tongue twister. Come on. So good. So strong. Anybody here is a Matrix fan? You'll see that today I'm channeling Trinity. I wanted to be like her every time I watch The Matrix. Such a badass woman. Come on, let's go. I imagine that this is how Trinity would train when she was not riding her motorcycle off buildings. And making the world the way that she wanted it to be. That's what we do, my friends. Last one. We shape it for ourselves by our actions and our attitude. Powerful, strong, capable, courageous. Okay, coming into our third set of overhead strict press. Give yourself a moment to catch your breath. Choose your weighted objects for your press. Do you want to go lighter? Do you want to go heavier? Are you within the 8 to 12 rep range? How are you feeling? And if you're not, if you're like doing like 15 to 20 reps because you have light weights available today, do those reps, rep them out. It's all good. Fatigue the muscles one way or the other. Come on up. Shoulders back, core braced. Think blueberry spine. Bring those weights to your shoulders, press and lower. Press and lower. Count your reps. There's no need to rush. Keep the shoulders back, hugging back as if they were sliding up and down the wall, not up here. Great work. I'm gonna do 2 more. What's really fun is I feel how much my shoulders warmed up and got worked during that first set we did. So, you know, you're right where you're supposed to be with this. Once you complete your set, we'll move into our reverse lunge curtsy lunge. Bending the knees to pick up the weighted objects. Again, shoulders stay back. You can put the weights up on your shoulders or keep them at your sides for this. Body up tall. I'll start with the left leg leading again. Back, A, back and across, B. Again, back and across. Nice and smooth and controlled reps. Keeping your balance. It's tough, I know. Great job. Shoulders stay back. Chest stays up, crown stays tall. You got this. Back and across, back and across. Count your reps. We're gonna want about the same number on the other side when we get there. Feel free to stop when you're ready and change sides. When you're ready, start with the right foot. Back and across. Count your reps. You got this. You can shift where you're holding the weights at any time. Just keep those shoulders back. Keep your chest up. Core stays braced. Beautiful work. Come on. Back and across. This is it. Back and across. When you complete that rep, set your weighted objects down. Amazing work. Stand tall. Drink some water. Rock and restore, fluid, whatever you've got. And we're gonna do one final little bonus finisher. I'm gonna take that strict press and turn it into a push press. And we're gonna do it for up to a minute. So you can do it for 30 seconds, you do it for 45, I'll see how long I can go. I'm gonna use a light weight for this, because it's a more dynamic movement. There's no jumping. We're just gonna be squatting and pressing overhead, okay? So grab something moderate in amount. I'm actually gonna use lighter than I have been using because I wanna last, and this is for time. So you've got about 5 seconds to prepare. 3, 2, 1. Hips back, press. Hips back, press. Now what do we practice as we send our hips back? We practice our core bracing, our belly button almost coming in and up as we send the hips back. And as we send the hips back, our back remains straight. We don't have an arch in the back. As we come up, we squeeze the glutes. Our elbows stay fairly flared out. It's okay if they come a little in front as they come down. That's natural as you're finding your balance. Okay, you're 30 seconds in. You can stop anytime. You can also turn this just into a squat. Okay? Good. Okay, you're at 45 seconds now. If you're still going, go as long as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Thank you so much for joining me for today's low impact full body workout. It was so much fun working out with you. I hope that you will go and take good care of your body today. Make sure to nourish yourself and get good rest tonight. Stretch, do all the things. If you're in Rock Your Life, you'll find the stretching video I recommend with this particular workout just below today's video in your class library. And if not, I'd love to invite you to be a member of Rock Your Life, where we have a massive class library full of all different types of workouts, everything from bar, yoga, strength training, body weight training, circuit training, hip training, mindset classes, kickboxing, and so much more. Plus, we have fantastic challenge programs. Now, you can take a challenge on and really push yourself through each day, or you can use these programs and fit them into your own life. Inside of our private women's fitness community, the coaches and I, plus all of the other amazing members just like you, will be there to support you, help you answer your questions, help you feel good along the journey, share the ups, the downs. We all have them, and we'd love to be there for you as you work your way through this healthy lifestyle with all 4 pillars of health, everything from your sleep, nutrition, stress management, and exercise. We're there to support you. I would love to have you join us. Grab a 30-day trial to rock your life and check out if this is what you've been missing. As always, I'm Betty Rocker. You are so awesome and amazing. Use the link to check out Rock Your Life today, and I will see you there. Bye for now.